My one message for adults in the community is that this is not a political game. This is not something that someone should use to get an advantage in the polls. This is real life. This is your planet. This is the planet that you're stepping on, living on, eating on. This is something that you should take seriously, and it should be a matter that should be discussed on a regular, because this is very harmful for the environment.
Like I said earlier, something I would like to request is for them not to brush it off as often, and try to help in any way they can. Because I know some adults brush it off because they're like, oh, doing a little change won't really change anything at all, but in reality it kind of does.
Yeah.
Yo pienso algo, en este viaje lo que yo he pensado mucho es que como adultos y nomás gente, maestros y gente de nuestra comunidad siempre nos dicen, salgan afuera, haz algo, no estén en sus teléfonos, no estén viendo la televisión tanto, pero me hace pensar que esas mismas personas no saben la vida o el estilo de vida que los niños de color tienen, que nuestros papás siempre están trabajando y siempre están tratando de ayudarnos en nuestro futuro, pero por siempre estar trabajando, a veces ellos no tienen el tiempo para llevarnos, ir a la naturaleza. Por eso cuando nos dicen ayuda a la naturaleza, es más difícil para nosotros porque nosotros no tenemos esa conexión con la naturaleza. Y los adultos que sí te ven y sí pueden ver quién eres y cómo eres como un estudiante, esos adultos son los que te ayudan a buscar oportunidades como estas. Y los que no, nomás te siguen diciendo, ve afuera, ve a la naturaleza, yo quiero que eso cambie. Que si te importa tanto que yo salga, pues ayúdame a salir, no nomás dime que salga. So something that I really thought about during this trip was adults, teachers, and just people in our community always telling kids, hey, go outside, stop being on your phone, stop watching TV. And I really want that to change, because those same teachers and people, they go on these ski trips, they go on all these luxury vacations with nature, but they don't really know the lifestyle of being a student of color, of our parents always working and trying to help us get a brighter future. But with that comes with them not having time to take us on these type of nature trips and all that. And I think that really needs to change, because only the teachers and adults that really care about you are the ones that try to help you find opportunities like these to come and help you. Hey, I see this student, I see who you are, and I'm trying to help you, and I'm going to try to take you outside. But then there's the other adults where they just keep on telling you, hey, go outside, get off your phone. That's not very helpful in any single way. So if you really care about us and you really hear us and see us, then help us try to get outside. Don't just tell us where to go. Help us.
Oh, thank you.
What I wish the adults would know is that I was recently doing an activity where I was in a position of a group of people who were dismissed many times because of the dam, and that taught me that I'm actually really passionate about things that I care about, and I really do care about this earth that we live on, and I won't take anything where they just dismiss me or a group of people my age, and as long as I'm here, I'm gonna be talking to them or just trying to get to them.
Probably something I thought a lot about on this trip was probably the dams, and there's no way of winning aside, because we talked about it. We did a little skit where we were Seattle City Lights, and then somebody was an indigenous tribe person. But I feel there's no way of winning in that situation. One person gains and the other one loses a lot of resources, and then the other one loses their land, and then we gain a lot. I feel I wouldn't know what to do in that situation.
But you care a lot about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And remember, you talked about that from last year too, right?
I just thought a lot more about it this year.
Yeah. Did you have any new, was that a new perspective you gained this year from Okay. Interesting. Thanks for sharing.
One thing I'd like to add is that we should probably also include the people that have been here way longer than, I guess, Americans have, which are the Native Americans. Since we are on their land sometimes, they should be included in the discussions about climate change and what solutions we're looking for.
If you ever have a job that may be related to this partially or impactfully destroying an environment, there's going to be a time where you'll have to take a risk to stop having that job, because it's not only for yourself, but it's going to be for many people and for the nature around you and more.
I think I learned a lot, and it made me realize a lot more about how involving the youth is going to be really important, because I think us getting involved is like people starting to involve the youth a while back, and so as long as we keep up this like involvement of the youth, it'll get better and better. And I think that was pretty much it.
So your message to adults is your message to adults is to include youth in these conversations. Is that?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Thank you.
Quisiera que mejoren el como no quemar bosques, porque quemando el bosque puede arruinar mucho las montañas y puede que no haya más agua en el futuro, como los lagos, que son muy bonitos y cristalinos cuando no está lloviendo, pero se van a morir como muchos más animales, y quisiera que mejorara cuando queman el bosque.
So, no burning the mountains no more, because that's causing for the animals to die, and then it damaged the water. And she's just talking about how we need to take care of it.
Thank you.
This trip we practiced a lot of leave no trace and being in nature, but trying not to leave any markings that we were there. And I think everyone should get out in nature just to de-stress, but should also learn how to not leave anything showing that they were there, and to not create new trails. We were practicing like cleaning up trails so that people don't go off and make their own trails. I think everyone should be able to do that.
Dar más oportunidades a gentes para salir a conocer un poco lo que es la naturaleza. Como yo me sentí muy bien al salir un poco de mi casa.
Giving more people opportunity to come here and to get to know the environment. And like her, she said that it gave her an opportunity to get out from her home and experience those kind of things.
Glad to hear.
I would just like to say it doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be big. It's the little things that really can make an impact and make a difference. Just doing those little things over and over, and maybe if every single person does like one small thing, really can help save the environment. And over time you can start to do more and more, but it doesn't have to be this huge push for it. You can always start small.
For me, looking back, before I came on this trip, I thought about climate change a lot, but I feel like I never really thought about it, in the sense that I would think about it and I would get a little bit sad, and then, I was able to like go back and stop thinking about it whenever I wanted, and kind of, like ignore it. And so I think that coming on this trip, I'm being forced to think about it and recognize it, and just kind of understanding what it means to be out in nature, because I never really got any experiences like this. And I think that's also an important aspect, like giving kids who aren't able to do this the opportunity to be out in nature and understand it and learn and appreciate it. So then they can in turn learn and have interests in this and make differences. And something I guess I would appreciate is I feel like at school there are some adults, like teachers, you know, who are very pessimistic, like, oh yeah, like it's not looking very bright, all these bad things are happening, or they do have hope. But I feel like something that really needs to happen is one of the reasons I think adults are like, oh, we believe in you, we believe in the new generation. But I think it's also important that even though they're not the new generation and they're not going to be living here in the future, they still have time to do things and make a difference and teach us and make sure we're aware about this. And also not just to have hope in us, but also to help us, you know.
Something that I would love for my adults in my community to do is to, again, take it more seriously, because at the end of the day, they're taking away from my future and my kids' future and their kids' future. And every time they do something, or every time they just take something when they want it, it's taking away from me. And so I really wish that it was something more accepted and something less argued. I feel like we all believe in science, and just to try to put that aside because you might need to move your house or you might need to change your lifestyle isn't fair to literally everyone else on the planet.